Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Kubeir. Today is about Ontario. Ontario has just, no, actually, it's not breaking news, so I'm not going to call it breaking news. I'm sure some people will. This actually happened yesterday, and if you were part of our Facebook group, which you should be, I do not know why that would stop you. If at all Canadian immigration is on top of your mind, but then you would know that we had already made this announcement yesterday morning, because a lot of people had reported that they were receiving invitations. So what is the news? Ontario conducted another round of their human capital priorities priority occupation draw, or general draw as we would also like to call it. In this particular draw, they would invite people under specific NOC codes, and these individuals would receive a notification of interest in their profile. Once they received this notification of interest, they would go and create the portal account on Ontario's One Key portal account, and there they will be able to submit their application. The time period is 45 days from the date you receive your NOI. But let's first go to the details as to what exactly has happened here. Okay. This is the recent update that we have, and this was published only this morning, though it happened yesterday, October 6th. A total of 18 different NOC codes were considered in this particular draw. Now, this draw invited people between the CRS scores of 463 and 467. I will cover the fact of why it is 467 in just a bit, as to why people over 467 were not considered. I will come to that in a bit, but so this is a very small points range, or small CRS range between 463 and 467, only 4 points, but they did invite 18 different NOC codes for this particular draw, which is not bad. And this is also the same number of NOC codes that were invited on their last draw, which was on the 27th of July. Just to sort of very quickly run through them, this is NOC codes 114, 0114, 0122, 0124, 0125, 0211, 0311, 0601, etc., etc. I'm sure you can read the rest of them on the screen here. And also, the link for this is in the description box, so you don't have to worry about figuring out where to find this particular information. To take you to certain more data points that are quite interesting sometimes, is for people who like to follow data, is so far under the human capital priorities stream, a total of 4,851 notifications of interest have been issued in the year 2021. The first draw that happened was on the 2nd of February, and the recent happening yesterday. Under the human capital priority stream, Ontario usually conducts two different sub-streams. One is the priority occupation streams, or they also call it the targeted draw priority occupation stream. And the other stream is the targeted draw under the tech draw. Now, under the tech draw, they tend to pick 6 different NOC codes that are 2172, 73, 74, 75, 2147, and 0213. And under the generic, or rather the targeted priority occupations, they pretty much are going to pick any kind of NOC codes that they feel is a requirement by their existing labor market priorities report. So in these two draws, which was on the 27th of July, when they invited 1,000 people, and in yesterday's draw, where they have invited 486 people, the NOC codes have pretty much remained the same. As of now, if I add up these, all the generic draws or the priority occupation draws, they have so far invited 3,137 under the priority occupations, and so far they have invited 1,714 under the tech draw stream, or substream, if you want to call it. Now, what happens here is that they haven't conducted a tech draw after the 13th of April, which is very surprising. Usually what they would do is they would conduct a generic priority occupations general draw, then a tech draw, then a priority occupations draw, then a tech draw. But after the 13th of April, for some reason, again, Canadian immigration is beginning to become more like a Bermuda Triangle. Just do not understand what goes on in there. I mean, you can fly around it thinking you want to explore it, but when you get to it, it just takes you in. It just engulfs you, and you have no clue what the hell's going on. So after the tech draw on the 13th of April, then they did a general draw on the 23rd of June. They did another draw of general priority occupations on the 27th of July. And then now most recent which was yesterday, 6th of October. But there has been no tech draw. I would assume that there should be a tech draw around the corner so that all of those people who are absolutely anxiously waiting with those tech IT NOC codes would probably obviously benefit out of that. Ontario usually has the largest quota of PNP or the nominations, and they're able to sort of invite the larger number of pool. And obviously, because it's a larger province, it's a larger population demographic. So therefore, they have that benefit of inviting more people. And therefore, this is the benefit. So if you are interested in the human capital priority stream, you don't have to stress. You don't need to do anything specific. You will just need to have an active express entry profile. Your occupation code that is of interest to them should be your primary occupation. And you should, so if you are considered to be eligible to apply and when you're applying, then this occupation, the primary occupation, primary knock code under which you have received your notification of interest or whatever you want to call it, or invitation, this work experience of at least 1 year, you should have at least 1 year work experience. And it should be within the last 5 years. Okay. So if your work experience was in 2015, then it could be a problem because that would not be considered eligible. So this work experience under which you are going to receive your notification of interest, it has to be within the last 5 years, and it should be at least 1 year of work experience. Do not worry that your other parts of work experience could be outside this 5 year period. That's fine. Ontario is more concerned that this eligible work experience under which they're sending you the notification of interest is within the 5 year bracket. That is one requirement. Second one is that you should have a bachelor's degree, at least. Okay. If your assessment has been done as a 3-year college program, you may not be considered as eligible under this program. You should have a bachelor's degree equivalency in your ECA report as a minimum education to be considered eligible. That is number 2. And number 3 is that, what is number 3? No, I don't have anything number 3. Obviously, you should have received a notification of interest. Now, if you have received the notification of interest, what you need to do is basically you will head over to their Human Capital Priorities Stream webpage, which is here. And as you will scroll down, you will obviously please go through this web page very carefully because it gives you a lot of information of what documents you need, what is considered as eligibility criteria, etc., and what you need to have in terms of proof of funds. You will need to provide all that. And once you scroll down here, you will be able to submit an application, and the link is here. So this is the link. If you click on this blue box, it will take you to the portal account, and thereby you will be able to create your portal account, and you will be able to sort of click on this. Oh, I'm not a robot, of course. Go on. Okay, and then I should be able to create my account over here and then be able to submit my application. You will have 45 days from yesterday, 6th of October, to complete your application and submit your application. It's a pretty simple, straightforward application. As long as you have taken complete consideration of their eligibility requirements, you provide complete documentation application in terms of proof of funds, in terms of your education documents, in terms of your work experience documents, you will be absolutely fine. Now, one very, very important critical factor that I would like to talk to you about, and a lot of people have received refusal because of this, and that is ordering a duplicate WES report. Okay, and I'm just looking for the exact page. All right, so this is also available to you on the Human Capital Priorities Stream webpage. Now, if you have received the notification of interest when you're completing the application, you must make sure that you authorize Ontario to see your ECA results. And this is required only for 3 different evaluating agencies. One is CES, Comparative Education Services. Second is Medical Council of Canada, MCC. And the third one, very important because a lot of you tend to use the services, is WES, World Education Services. So if you have done your educational evaluation from WES, make sure you go back and order a duplicate copy on the WES portal and indicate Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program as the recipient of the report. It's probably going to cost you $30, but this is extremely important. You should provide this particular document as part of your application, and you must authorize Ontario or OINP to be able to see your report. Now, what I wanted to talk to you earlier about is, why is it 467? Why is the top cutoff limit at 467? Well, the reason for that is the last all program draw was on the 23rd of December, which was at 468. Usually, and that is how historically Ontario has operated, is that they play in tandem with the express entry draws, because obviously it did not make sense to invite people whose scores were more than the express entry draw or the last all program express entry draw, because those people would not accept the Ontario invitation, because the express entry draw itself is on a higher scale. So what they would do is they would always draw the high point of their draw at one point less than the express entry all program draw. The last express entry all program draw was at 468. So Ontario is still stuck at 467, in spite of the fact that there has been no draws after the 23rd of December. It's quite a pity, because there are so many people with more than 467 who are waiting, but unfortunately they are between a rock and a hard place. It's going to get very difficult for them to get a direct invitation, because of the express entry scores are going to open at a very high score, and they are also not able to get the benefit from the draws like Ontario, because their scores are, let's say, 468, 469, 470, 471 kind of scores. So it's a very difficult one, but this is what it is, right? On the other side, provinces like Alberta have identified this as a great opportunity, and they have been inviting all the high scoring profiles regardless of what their CRA score is. So they have been going out even up to 500s and inviting those. So if you receive a notification of interest, and if you're thinking, what should I do? Well, I always say a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So if you have received one, you will be able to complete your application. It will cost you 1,500 Canadian dollars, but hey, if you can sleep better without having to wait and worry about when will be the next FSW draws, then hello, it's a good buy. So go ahead and do that. If your scores are 480s and above, then obviously you wouldn't have received this notification at all. But if you are at 467, you definitely don't have to think about it. Just absolutely go for it. Complete your application pronto. Under normal circumstances, it was taking them about 2 to 3 months to process the nomination. But in the last month, they have been going super hyper speed in the processing of nominations. I have seen nominations coming in a span of even 1 to 2 weeks, which was quite cool from their side. So if you have received the notification of interest, then congratulations. This is a great opportunity for you, and you should definitely go ahead and do this. That's all I have from my side today. Thank you for joining in, and yeah, catch you around next time. If you obviously want to make an appointment with us, then that is the link. Please do follow us on Instagram, and absolutely don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I need to rush because I've got somebody else waiting. So I shall see you next time. And until that time, please take care. Yeah, don't forget to tune in on our weekly live stream that we do on Saturday mornings, where we can then take more detailed questions and discuss this and hash this out further. See you later.